Interact Accessories welcomes you to the mind-blowing world of video game enhancements with our new GameShark Lite. GameShark Lite, which is more technologically advanced than any other game enhancer on the market today, promises to take your gameplay to higher levels. And it's overflowing with incredible features. Take a look. GameShark Lite is loaded with thousands of codes for hundreds of the hottest PlayStation titles, so you're assured that all the biggest and best games are included. What's more, GameShark Lite codes can be stored on a regular memory card, so you can store thousands more codes as they become available. In this video, you'll discover how GameShark Lite will revolutionize your gameplay, arming you with the power of the most devastating codes available. GameShark Lite is preloaded with a huge range of powerful codes, and using them couldn't be easier. Select the game you want to play from the game selection menu, then choose from the list of codes to tailor the game to how you want to play it. It's really that simple. The CD image viewer allows you to view images that are stored on the game CD. GameShark Lite searches for these images, and if any are found, you'll be able to view them. Have you ever wished that you could listen to an entire soundtrack of a game while you just kick back and relax? With GameShark Lite CD music player, you can listen to all the musical tracks from your favorite PlayStation games, or you can just play your regular audio CDs. Every keen game player is aware of the increasing levels of sophistication arriving with each new game that hits the shelves. Games are becoming increasingly more challenging, and no matter how we grade ourselves in terms of game-playing dominance, we've all experienced that soul-destroying emotion where you've played the latest blockbuster for 48 hours straight, only to reach level 7 for the 14th time, and to be destroyed in the exact same way as you had the 13 times previously. Sometimes we need help. To meet this need, many game publishers embed special effects into their games that allow you to bend the rules. You commonly find special moves, level skips, and so on, which are unleashed with the use of codes or fancy controller moves. GameShark Lite is different because it redefines the rules, letting you set the agenda. How does GameShark Lite tilt the odds in your favor? Well, it starts with the codes. A GameShark code is a special routine that affects the way a game actually works. You can select any number of powerful codes to arm you with the ability to blast your games wide open. This means you could play a game with infinite life or health, infinite ammo, extra vehicles, extra weapons, and so on. Before we look at how GameShark codes work, you will first need to understand a little of how the actual engine of the game functions. Every game, whether it be a fighting, racing, adventure, or shoot-'em-up title, has a built-in table of events that holds the information about gameplay variables. This area we call scratch RAM, and it might contain values for the current level, energy status, number of lives, and so on. During gameplay, if, for instance, a life is lost, then the value at a particular location within the scratch RAM is reduced to reflect the new lower life value. Likewise, if a game player moves on to the next level, then a different value within the scratch RAM will be increased accordingly. From this, you can see that you can actually affect the way a game's engine works if you have the ability to control these values by preventing the game engine from changing them in the normal way. GameShark Lite has the ability to prevent the values in scratch RAM from being modified by the game, and it actually takes control of these locations by forcing alternative values into them. This is done by the use of GameShark codes. A GameShark code is made up of two parts. The first part is quite simply the address of the memory location that we wish to take control of. This might be the location that controls lives, for instance. The second part of the code is the alternative value that we wish to place there. For instance, if location 800040EF00002 normally contains only 2 lives, then the GameShark code for extra lives might read 800040EF00009, where the 9 equals 9 lives. So that's how GameShark works. It's all about the codes. Simply choose the codes for the game that you're playing and become invincible. If you want to add a new code to your GameShark code list, you first need to insert a regular memory card into one of the memory card slots on your PlayStation. We recommend you keep a spare dedicated memory card for saving all of your GameShark codes. To enter a code for a new game that's not featured in your game list, first you need to go to the GameShark main menu screen and select cheat codes. Select new game, then edit game name. Enter the name of the game. Then select it from the game listing. Select new code, enter a name for the code, then edit the code. Enter the 12-digit code you wish to add. now select Exit and Save. Your code has now been stored to your memory card. To add a code to your code list for an existing game already featured on the disk, go to Select Cheat Codes and from the Select Game menu, select the name of the game you want to add codes for, then select New Code. Then, as before, enter a name for the code, then edit the code, and then exit and save. We offer several easily accessible sources of the newest and hottest codes. We have a weekly updated 900 line, 1-900-773-SHARK, where you can get your hands on the most powerful codes for all the latest games. Lines are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have a free access website, www.gameshark.com, and we also publish a bi-monthly newsletter, GameShark Magazine. We also supply codes for your favorite video game magazines like EGM, Expert Gamer, GamePro, and Tips and Tricks. Finally, Prima Publishing has released an official GameShark code book that will sell in bookstores and game retailers nationwide.
When you want to tip the scales in your favor, you turn to GameShark. When you need new codes to completely topple the scales, leaving any competition no chance of survival, you need to log on to GameShark.com. Nowhere else can you get the latest official codes from the pros. Besides being your only source for the latest codes, GameShark.com offers video game news, game reviews, previews, hardcore gamer chat and discussion boards, and an editorial crew of escaped rabid baboons. Or so it seems. Log on to GameShark.com, get the power to pummel your games, and register for a slew of benefits that are only available to GameShark.com members. Membership is free, so your excuses have just run out.
On October 26th, Interact Accessories is going to start slinging some killer prizes in your general direction, but only if you have the points to compete. To get the points, you can bust out a massive 540 or tweak your frontside fakie to the cheers of crowds around the world. But why risk life and limb when you can simply buy Interact, GameShark, and Performance brand accessories? Every accessory for every platform has a point value. Every point you collect is equal to how many times we throw your name into the enormous imaginary hat. The more points you have, the more entries you have, the more chances you have of winning. We'll reach into that mythic sombrero every day, every week, every month, and a few more times at the end of February. And for the lineup of prizes we're throwing down, you'd better be prepared to go big, or you might as well not even bother playing. So, first you buy the goods. Second, go to www.gobigwinbig.com to register and get more of the scoop. And third, if we pick your name, you could win daily, weekly, monthly, and grand prizes, including posters, t-shirts, games and gaming gear, big-ticket electronics, skateboards, snowboards, bikes, and big vacations for the adventurous types. You may even win a chance to hang with members of Interact's Dream Team, Bucky Lasik, Bob Burnquist, Dave Mira, Ryan Nyquist, Carrie Hart, Todd Richards, and of course, Barrett Christie. For details on prizes and such, pull up www.gobigwinbig.com. Dude, what are you waiting for? Do it now!